Imagine you have established a business, and after you die, the business begins to collapse and workers start losing their jobs. Well, this school was established in 1978 by the late Joseph Kojo Amponsa. Many years after the establishment, the school was one of the best in the Ashanti region. But today, this is the state of the school.
Komfo Anokye Junior High School gained fame across the length and breadth of Ashanti region in the 80s and 90s as a basic level institution. Not only did the name after the Ashanti legendary priest evoke awe, but its students put up excellent performance in both academic and extracurricular activities. The proprietor had intended to upgrade the school to second cycle with good quality teachers and other staff. Michael Sechidua had for 21 years been teaching science and mathematics in this school.
When I see the sort of the students I taught, where God has placed them, so many are medical doctors. And you know, when I came, I was teaching maths, I was teaching science. Of course, maths is my best.
Students who attended Komfo Anokye Junior High School were respected and held in high esteem among their peers. Havis is a former student, now so manager at Data Bank.
If you attend Komfo Anokye back then, that means we call it DB. That means you are very, you are from a rich home, even though it's not meant for just the rich. But it has gotten that standard where the moment you attend Komfo Anokye, people give you that kind of respect and pedigree. I
remember one Saturday we came for Saturday classes, and the director, God bless his soul, Mr. J. Kamponsan, he met me just at the school park here. I was speaking vernacular. And he said, "Hey, you're speaking Chi. Come on, kneel down." And I knelt down the whole day.
Late Joseph Kojo Amponsa was said to have built the school around himself and gave off all his best to make it the finest in the region. Here is his third son, Bernard Amponsa.
Has been managing both finances and everything.
Things were smooth and positive. Many people got employment to earn decent living. Students had good grades to qualify for secondary education elsewhere. In 2011, however, the most difficult and unpleasant news hit the institution. The owner passed on.
What really happened after the demise of your father?
When he left, it was very tedious to get somebody who could really do the same thing that he was really doing, because he knew the networks that he had built.
Praise for teachers delayed for months as the student population dropped at a fast rate.
And now what is making things more difficult is the, I would say that the cost that we have incurred.
David Frimpong Manson is current headmaster who took over about 6 months ago.
The stakeholders were not able to pay the teacher's salary. There were some arrears for about 3 months. They had about 480 million to be paid to the electricity.
So what could have caused the near collapse of once a toast of private basic school in Kumasi? Professor Sasha Baker, Professor Hans of Universities of Warwick in the United Kingdom and Bergen in Norway respectively conducted studies into firms after the death of owners. They concluded survival rates of such businesses 2 years after the demise of founders is 20%. They attributed businesses that experienced a dip in performance after death of owners to what they termed upheaval. Right Reverend Professor Osei Safo Kantanka is head of Movement for Education of Poverty in Africa through the church.
So sometimes one of the main reasons why people begin enterprises and when they die they drop off is that they will not have involved their children in the running of these facilities. Many typical Ghanaians and Africans think that the best he can give to their children is for them to rise very high in some kind of government employment and not in the kind of work they are involved in.
He says entrepreneurs should begin to look for new ways of making their businesses survive beyond them.
I think everybody who begins something must have this future perspective, knowing that you will not be there forever. So how do I plan things in such a way that what I have started will continue? The Lebanese, when they come, the people are all there and they are working. And you may have an old person who will have been there long ago, and yet he's able to sit back and watch the children take over. Sometimes they will make all kinds of mistakes, but it is true that they learn. And again, another factor which is important is that when you bring your children on board, they must also have the humility to learn from the people with whom you have toiled all along. I've seen some situations where the children have come in and they have caused almost everybody to be sacked. And now they themselves don't seem to really have the experience and the guts to let the factory or the industry continue as it was during their father's time.
Whether or not Komfo Anokye Junior High School will return to its former self is something we can only wait and see.